Hey everybody, welcome back. Well, I'm in the old Las Palmas neighborhood today of Palm Springs, and the reason why I'm back here is because I've done the other celebrity home videos that people seem to like, and it's kind of fun doing these houses that are, well, the first one I'm going to show you just because I was passing by is a very famous house and just sold, but the other ones we're going to go are a little lesser known celebrities. So with that being said, let's kick this off. First house, it's going to be Dean Martin's. Now, that house is great, but this house was for sale for so long, and it finally did sell. And this was Dean and Jeannie's house. They've taken this thing down to the bare bones, as you can see, down to the studs, as they would say. But the original palm trees are here. You still got that going for you. And just up until a couple years ago, when I came here with my dad, they actually had the original ovens in here. He had 2 ovens in the kitchen, and the pool in the back is like a 9-foot deep pool, which I don't even think you can get, probably can't even get okayed for that deep of a pool anymore. But this was Dino's house, and they're keeping a little bit of the wood, it looks like, on the roof, but they're replacing everything else. The rocks will be the same. You can kind of see through the back. I think it was a 3-bedroom house with that little pull-up like garage that you had, the carport. All right, we'll keep checking back on this house and see what goes underway with Dean's house. As you can see right there, the house with the yellow, that is Dean's house. And 1197, this was the home of Sid, Charisse, and Tony Martin. Charisse was an actress and a dancer, and Martin was an American singer. They married in 1948 and remained married until Charisse died in 2008. There's my shadow, my long shadow. The rocks or the glass that they have in here, I've always seen, so I really did remember this place. Oh, here's another one getting a little makeover next door. I wonder who that famous neighbor was. Sid became a resident ballet dancer for MGM in 1943. She was in the Ziegfeld Follies. She followed the performance and roles in Harvey Girls, Three Wise Fools, The Cloud Rolls. Now, Martin, his career lasted over 7 decades. Pretty impressive if you can keep a job that long. With songs like Walk Hand in Hand, I Love Paris, Stranger in Paris. He also hosted through 1954 and 1956 TV shows, including the with many stars, including Jack Benny, Dinah Shore, and Milton Berle. Now, Jack Benny's around here too. We're going to go see his house. I believe today, I think he's on my list, but that's crazy. Sid, Charisse, and Tony Martin were right here, and Dino was right here. I mean, everybody was walking distance. Now, this one sort of blows my mind. This one is a gossip columnist back from the day, would have been the equivalent of probably close to what TMZ is, but Rona Barrett. And if you know who that is, I mean, it's been a while. It's been a few winks, but yeah, Rona Barrett was right here. Okay, so Frank Sinatra, it was his nemesis. He thought she was a disgusting woman. He really did not like her. And she would always get the scoops on everyone. And one of the people that she got the scoops on was Elvis Presley. And when Elvis was going to get married, she was telling people that people are arriving and that him and Priscilla are going to probably elope or something was going to happen. Frank found out about that, and Frank wasn't pleased. So Frank, a friend of Elvis, helped sneak Elvis out during the middle of the night through the back of the Elvis honeymoon house, and then get him to Vegas where they were married. Now, this is the part that blows my mind. Now, I've never been to Rona Barrett's house. Okay, once again, the gossip columnist. But check this out. Not this beautiful A-frame house that's tiki style like Shag in my old video. But I'm going to show you the juxtaposition of one of the most craziest things. Rona's house. Let's take that in. Elvis honeymoon house. Rona House, Elvis honeymoon house. It's right there. I've driven past this hundreds of times. I had no idea. She's around the corner. She's right here. No wonder she was watching everything going on over at the Elvis house and Colonel Tom Parker, what they were up to. That is insane. Now, the Elvis honeymoon house had no installation. It was just a concept house, a touring house, but I forgot the gentleman that designed it. He passed away in a plane crash, him and his wife. And this lot was where the tennis court was. This lot just was empty too. And just recently they've started building these homes now because of prime real estate. But Rona's house, Elvis honeymoon house. We'll swing up by the Elvis honeymoon house real quick since oh my gosh. Things I did not know. Still learning things. That is crazy. She's got a beautiful house too. Sitting here on this little like hill style. But wow. Everybody just went by her window. She probably had her head peeking out there, watching everybody go by. Just a nosy neighbor. So if you ever want to see this house, a very big part of history. Now we can't see it, but we're up in the cul-de-sac. Down here, there's the A-frame. This is where the tennis courts used to be. So even the tennis courts and whoever Elvis would have over playing tennis, where this house is, was a huge lot connected to the Robert Alexander house. That's who it is, Robert Alexander. And this is the Elvis honeymoon house. That is so insane. This was dubbed the House of Tomorrow. And that room, gosh, that sun's just got to be blasting through those windows, heating that thing up. And here is the original walkway. I know a lot of people have shown this. The fountain does still work. They do have this running from time to time. I don't want to go up, but the original gates are there and the original doors as well. But mind blown that she was so close. I knew the stories. Okay, and then one more thing. So Sinatra found out this house goes way back and there's a pool here, and there was no lot on the other side for years, even just recently, within the last 5 years. That's where Priscilla and Elvis snuck out behind the pool. Sinatra had a limo waiting and drove him to the airport, to Palm Springs Airport. So this is all a huge part of history. Very, very cool. Now, this one's pretty cool. And I don't know who this one is yet. Let's just say that I will figure this one out. But this house right here is Debbie Reynolds' house. And this is where Debbie Reynolds and actually Eddie Fisher. And Eddie Fisher was a Justin Timberlake of the 1950s, let's just say. And wow, that sun is coming up. So Debbie Fisher, she was Debbie Fisher. Debbie Reynolds married Eddie Fisher, had Carrie Fisher. Eddie Fisher cheated on her and went with Liz Taylor. So Liz Taylor lived right down the street too, and that's where she stayed when it was her boyfriend at the time. I don't think they were married. Died in a plane crash. Movie producer. This is cool. So this is the Debbie Reynolds house. It's been really redone, as you can see, but we're actually not too far from the Elvis house as well. It's just right around the corner. These are all walking distance, but okay, not much to see here, so we'll move on, but that's cool. I like it. Throw the shades on just because, well, I'm in Palm Springs. But one thing I got to say is I'm really enjoying doing these little, well, they're not lesser known, but they are stars. They're all big stars in their own right. A little more forgotten than the others, though, which is kind of cool. There's driving around one after another. I'm like, wait, I know that one. I know that one. I know who's here. I just, from where I'm at, I'm on Vistacino right now. I'll turn around here. This home right here, I'll get into it in a sec, but I am so close to Elvis only owned 3 properties, and I hate to keep going back to Elvis, but he only owned 3 properties, and one of them was in Palm Springs because he just loved it out here. Him and Colonel Tom Parker were out here all the time, and he dubbed it Graceland West, as a lot of people do know. But this house that we're outside right now, and I'll walk up to the gate, was in fact Jack Benny's house. And Jack Benny, well known, born 1894, died in 1974. Started in, well, he was an American entertainer. He started in vaudeville. He was a violinist. He was in radio, television, film. I mean, so they do want you to know it is a private residence, but this was Jack Benny's home. And it looks like the golf course, tennis courts are still here. I do like seeing these too, these original lights. I saw that at Bing Crosby's house too. But Jack Benny, I'll walk over here too so we can get a look at the front. It makes me think, just looking at these houses, like, because as I get more familiar with them, everybody lives so close. So it's like, who was there? Who was here? You know, and then you look them up and you're like, holy smokes, I know who that was. Here's the entrance to Jack's. Got a little fountain out there. Great house on the corner. All right, we're going to call this house, because I was in the neighborhood and I see there was a construction sign, but this was Elvis's house. And after he got divorced from Priscilla, this is one of the houses that he kept. He also recorded an album here and a couple songs here. Another thing, Frankie Valli, he too also lived here. And I believe Carl Karcher, I'm pretty sure Carl Karcher from Carl's Jr. owned this at one time, but then a Japanese businessman owned it, and it just sat here because he loved Elvis, but he was scared to fly. So that was, therein lies the problem of not being able to get over here. But yeah, so this was Elvis's compound. This is the house where Elvis and Robert Goulet did not like each other. Well, Elvis didn't like Robert Goulet for sure. But this is the house when you hear about Elvis shooting out the TV with his pistol. That happened in the backyard here by the pool. There used to be, like, I believe it was red carpet all around the pool. It was pretty tacky. Heelhauser did a great video here. If you ever get a chance, look at the Heelhauser. Just Google search it. Heelhauser Elvis house. There was a guy that owned it that wanted to make it where he'd live here and give tours for a short time. It never really panned out. It was a weird story. But yeah, Elvis used to have his boys here. They'd all be sleeping. Had well-known stories of them all sleeping in the back in sleeping bags. Or I guess that's how they like to do it. But this was also the place, and that I was saying that Elvis would be here after he got divorced and would have friends over. Let's call them friends. And he built, over his hot tub, he built a little privacy thing, like almost a room, a separate room. Because there was helicopters flying over trying to see who Elvis was with. But yeah, here's a little just added on bonus coming up the hill because we were just so close coming up from Jack Benny's. The king. Thank you very much. Here's a little added bonus. We just came down from the Elvis house. This was the Hollywood House, 1966 in Little Tuscany, designed by James McNaughton and Associates. A famed set designer and art director for television and motion pictures designed this home in Hollywood Regency style. So yeah, I saw the sign. I thought I'd just stop and give a little overview. So a Hollywood set designer on this corner designed this house. You come right up this road and it's cool. But yeah, it's awesome. I love the big doors. You can see they're original too because they're cracked and kind of repaired, but I'm glad to keep that. And you can see inside there's a lot of just brickwork, painted over brickwork. So I was just showing you this panorama and Chino Canyon, the Little Tuscany. So if you're going up and you notice this house, this blows my mind too. This is what I'm talking about. You run into just so many others. Right here, 595. Now this is another famous person's house. This house belonged to Zsa Zsa Gabor. And Zsa Zsa Gabor was before my time. And this house is named The Arches. What I remember about Zsa Zsa Gabor, I was just in my teens. She slapped a police officer in Beverly Hills after she got pulled over. And that's where, you know, it was like the Zsa Zsa slap. That's what she was known, you know, through my time growing up. I mean, they'd make fun of that. But yeah, she's got some interesting doors too. The red ones are quite thin to get in there, but this is the home. I sadly don't know that much about Zsa Zsa. It's interesting artwork, and I guess that's why it is named. Wow, that's peaceful. These are beautiful flowers. The arches. Okay, now I'm having fun because I'm just entering these numbers, and it's like 350 feet is what my Waze is telling me, like, how to get there. Like, I am so close to everything, and now it's kind of unfolding of all these celebrities that were nestled in here. This next one is really cool. If you've ever been up to Central California, up the coast, up PCH1, one of the popular destinations up there is, well, the Hearst Castle, and there's a tie into that with this next home. And you'll kind of see why. This home right here, and if you look at this little thing outside, little statue or light that they have for the entrance, this home right here was George Randolph Hearst Sr. was the oldest of the 5 sons of William Randolph Hearst. He was also a publisher for the San Francisco Examiner, and they were philanthropists out here in the Palm Springs area. So I'll walk over here and we can just kind of take a look. Of course they were philanthropists. They were very, very, very wealthy. That is so cool. Randolph Hearst and a tie to Palm Springs. I was just walking around the little area here, and all of these little statues, I just gotta touch one. The history to it, I love it. And they have some more like things over there, and once again the lights you can always tell. That is so neat. But I want to show you the front door over here as we walk around. Another big light, but you can see the faces on either side of the door. I really wonder what that one looks like inside. It's got to be great. I think that's going to do it for our tour of the celebrity homes up here in the Las Palmas, Little Tuscany area of Palm Springs. If there's any house that you want me to go check out or you know about out here, tip me off, let me know. Send me a message, I'll always reply. Once again, I do appreciate you watching. I had to make sure my lens was in there. Wide angle lens, it's a magnet, but please consider subscribing, like this video if you like this video, and as always, I will see you next time. Now the final house that we're going to do is the Kaufmann House. Now this house was, well, let me show you, designed by Richard Neutra. This is a well-known house, built in 1946, and they do not want you coming in. There is armed response. This house was once owned by Barry Manilow as well. I mean, this is very, very famous in architectural circles. If you want to see what the inside looks like, you can definitely just go online and check it out. But this is a cool house. And if you come around the corner, you'll see just this overhang, and you'll know right from there. Once owned by Barry Manilow. And just to show you once again, if you go all the way up to where that end of the road is and you make that left, that is the pool up to the right of the Elvis house. Everybody was here. Palm Springs never stops amazing me. Beautiful architecture too, and just the landscaping out here with the boulders and the cacti, as they like to say. Alright, thanks for watching.